We started HiringSmart because all through our lives we've met people who hate their jobs. We have these enormous numbers of people out there who go to work every day, who were very good at getting hired into the jobs where they could get hired. And now they feel trapped in their work. They're not happy with what they're doing, and they're not really that happy with themselves.
And we've been there, you and I.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the thing is, when you look at the statistics, I mean, this is what blows me away. It doesn't matter whose research you look at, it's all pretty consistent. 8 out of 10, give or take, 80% of people go to work every day. They trudge in the morning. They hate the work they're doing. They hate the manager they're working with. They hate the people that they have to work with to get the job done. And then they trudge home at the end of the day.
And yeah, and you know, when they got hired, that's not how it was.
Yeah.
They got hired because somebody thought they were the right person for the job, or they thought that this was the best person who applied.
Yeah. Well, and from the candidate's point of view, it's a completely different perspective, because, you know, we've all grown up believing that, you know, jobs are scarce. You need to take whatever job is given to you, and so we're taught that we have to suck it up and just do the job. And so often when opportunities are presented to us, when we get an offer of employment, we take it because it's better than the alternative, which is continuing to look for work. Yeah. And even if it's a really appealing offer, you know, we're taking it because it takes us off the market, because it looks like the right next step, without really knowing what it is we're getting into.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the things that we saw was we looked at organizations, and we looked at top performers, we looked at poor performers, and we went and looked at what was it that made them different. And we found that they all had the same education, they all had the same work experience, and they all had sort of the same pedigree in their resumes. There was nothing that really stood out. After all, using that system, the top performers and the poor performers, they all got selected in the hiring process.
Well, and I was in that for a long time, you know, in my career as a human resources professional. I spent 20 years in my career bringing people into the organization, using resumes as the differentiator, making up rules about who's going to show up in which pile on the basis of completely arbitrary.
I mean, my favorite one, the typos in the cover letter?
Or number of years experience in this job or that job. And what we've learned over time is that none of that has any relationship to how productive somebody's going to be in the job or how long they're going to stick around.
Yeah, and then in the traditional hiring system, all the measurements that were held up in front of you about whether or not the hiring was working was about how many people did you hire, how many people left, how many people stayed. They were all...
How many days in the process, how many days was the requisition open.
Yeah, it was all quantity numbers.
Yeah.
And the HiringSmart system is about measuring the quality numbers.
Yeah. You know, I think the part I love most is that, you know, the value, we can offer value right away, immediately, as soon as we go live, but the value just gets deeper and richer over time. Part that really excites me is when we had that client tell us, you know, it's kind of like when there's this knowledge chain reaction that happens. We learn a little piece about one thing in the process that we didn't know, and now all of a sudden what we've learned from that cascades through the organization to the point where, yeah, we might start looking at this as something to help us with selecting new candidates, but boy, oh boy, it's completely changed the way our existing people work together.
I think what really drives me taking this and wanting to really move this along and get the world changing the way they do hiring is going back to why we started in the first place. We've got all these people who are out there who are just in the wrong jobs because they were really good at getting hired. We've got a system out there which is all about helping people get hired. We don't really have a lot of systems out there on helping people select the right one.
Yeah, I think there's a different level to this, though, for many of our clients, though, too. I mean, there's all of the numbers and the metrics and all of the things that we're talking about related to the process. I think for so many of them, the process is just so much more human. It really does respect the whole person coming into the organization, the whole person as they're engaging with the organization. It just makes so much more sense at a human level. Just imagine looking into the future and seeing workplaces where people go into work excited, looking forward to spending the day with the people around them, and knowing that the work they're doing is making a difference in stuff that's important to them.
Oh, yeah.
Things become possible that just aren't possible today in most organizations.
So, what gets you excited about it?
Exactly that.